If you know anyone who is homeless and living in the Salt Lake City area or in Utah, you need to pass this message on.
We now have our first involuntary camps in the United States. The Trump administration has taken 16 acres outside of Salt Lake City where they are holding homeless people. They're calling it a service campus, but others are calling it a prison. But if you're not allowed to leave, what is it? It is a prison. So it's illegal to be homeless. There is no money to feed you. And it's a crime now in the United States. But we gave billionaires a $4 trillion tax cut. And Congress can't bother to show up to work. But we have started our first encampments in the United States of America. They will receive addiction and mental health treatment, whether they need it or not. Then they may be moved to BLM management land. Is that the answer?
First and foremost, before we get started, I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash, and double honors to those great millstone while learnt his truth, and also to those elect that are scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great and powerful lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And the type of day lesson is prophetic events. So I like to say Shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope to sweep you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today's lesson, we seen the opening video whereby Salt Lake City is getting ready to start up their first involuntary camp, for the homeless, So now we're seeing that now it's illegal to be homeless. So right now they putting these what we would call concentration camps or so-called FEMA camps. They're putting them in place left and right. So we know that I think about a week or two back, maybe a month or so back, they're starting up digital ID. So now we're seeing how they are rolling it out. They're using Salt Lake City for a test run state, that's getting ready to start across America as we speak. So we already knowing that they already have the military in place. Also, we knowing about this they still having this this government shutdown. It's into the 35th or 36th day for right now. And also they still having this crisis with these stamp benefits. One thing they were saying they were going to release them now, saying that DJ Donald Trump said he's not going to release anything till they reopen the government. So they're going back and forth, so the old playbook. So these things are coming into place left and right. So now all of a sudden now they want to put these homeless people in these facilities, these concentration camps, these what we would call chipping stations. So these things are lining up just like clockwork. And also we know about these militaries pretty much are building up and pretty much in certain major cities across America, left and right. And also we knowing that, it was rumors that they're saying that they're going to have what's called like forced labor. So pretty much it's just like a prison camp, just like you're in prison. So a lot of people, they're saying they're here to help the homeless, help the mentally ill, and also people that have drug addiction. Well, we're not ignorant of Satan's device. So we're seeing these things are lining up left and right. So that right now, this is just like a FEMA camp. So these things are slowly rolling out. So we knowing that they're putting the system into place. This NWO, total control. So let's just get a little bit of this here. We're gonna get one more video and we get a few precepts. And through the spirit, I hope that you will get edified. It says here, this article here is by the New York Times. I'm just gonna read just a little bit of this article. It says here, in Utah, Trump vision for homelessness began to take shape. It says here, state official promised large-scale involuntary addiction, addiction and mental health treatment at Salt Lake City Edge. Say critics see a prison or a warehouse. So we see it right here. He constantly putting it in place. So he says it's already started. He said internment camp. So right now the devil shall cast some of you into prison. Let's get a little bit more of this. It says to to glimpse in the future of homelessness. It said policies in the age of President Trump consider 16 acres of scrubbery pastures on the outskirts of Salt Lake City, where the state plans to place as many as 1,300 homeless people in what supporters call a service campus and critic deem a detention center. So we're gonna stop it right there. So we're seeing right now that they're saying it's just gonna be for homeless people, people that have that is mental challenge, that have mental problems, mental issues, and also drug addiction. But we already know it's going to be further than that. They're going to pretty much going to start taking people's left and right. Just like you out there teaching, saying something against the government, you'll be placed in one of these so-called involuntary camps, concentration camp. Try to keep it as clean as I can. So we're seeing right here that we know where these things are going. And also we know that, when they implement that grain of rice, you're going to one of these camps. If you refuse, then they're going to, you will be unalive. So a lot of these things are coming into play. And also it's already rumors that they already have gotten rid of a lot of homeless people. A couple of months back, they saying that it was taking them into other countries, dropping them off in those prisons. Also, they were saying that it was dumping them off in what you call these rivers and different other things like that, unaliving them. So we're seeing right now Utah is getting ready to become this test run state for this new system that they're putting into place, which in fact is going to be digital, programmable, and also implantable under your skin. So this is what this is leading to. So this is the test run. So we seeing now that this man is constantly rolling out right before our eyes these unrighteous decrees, these executive orders, these policies, his philosophies. So let's get this here. Let's go here to Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1. It said, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. So when you go into that word decrees, it goes into a law, some type of mandate, executive orders, out about what they have prescribed or authorized. So that's exactly what we see in left and right. This man is signing away with these executive orders, and one thing about it said, woe to them, what destruction. That's what we see in left and right. They constantly plotting against the just each and every day. Verse 2 said, turn aside the needy from judgment and take away the right from the poor of my people, said that the widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. So right here, the point I want to make in this one here, it says here to take away the right of the poor. And who is the poor? The so-called people of color, the Negroes, the Latinos, the Native Indians, the Mexicans. I'm talking to you. So that's exactly what they're doing, slowly taking your rights away from you. All saying that we're here to help you. It's just a facility. It's involuntary. But that is about we know that this is going to be mandatory. And also, they know they're going to come with this forced labor. And also, they coming with that, that grain of rice. So these things are fast approaching. So let's get one more, and then we get one more video, and then we will close out. Let's go here to let's get one to back it up a little bit more. Let's go into the blue letter. Let's go here in the blue letter. Let's go here to Psalm chapter 94. Let's get this right quick. Psalm chapter 94 and verse 20. We'll go straight to the point. Psalm chapter 94 and verse 20. Let's get here right quick. It says here, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, said, which framest mischief by a law. So exactly what they're doing, constantly bringing these unrighteous decrees, these unfair laws, these mandates, these executive orders, left and right, constantly, a tighter grip, left and right. So right now, it is illegal to be homeless, so we already knowing what's getting ready to happen. Also with these Section 8, it started with the food stamp. Now they're saying, I think around December, that a lot of, they're going to stop funding housing for Section 8. So we already knowing if these landlords don't get their money, so it could be possible a lot of a massive what you call evictions, so a lot of people is going to be homeless. So if they going to be homeless, lose their place where they live, then they're going to place them in a facility. So we seeing how these things are going. So let's read this in the NLT. It says here, Psalm chapter 94 and verse 20 in the NLT, say, can unjust leaders claim that God is on their side? Said leaders who decrees permit injustice. So that's what we see in left and right. We're already seeing the injustice with these stamp benefit, so a lot of people right now are going to go hungry. A lot of people are going to starve to death. And some people, right now they're going to be in the elements, they ain't going to be able to deal with the cold. So this could be the possible dark winter. So we seeing how these things are constantly lining up. We seeing that we're here. These things are at the door. So, this man is rolling it out right before I, frame his mission with with a law, say exactly what he's doing, left and right, constantly bringing it past. We constantly seeing these draconians and these Tartarian laws come into place, left and right, that cruel law, when you go to Isaiah chapter 19. So these things are coming into place. So now let's go back and get one more quick video. Then after the video, we'll get one or two more precepts and we'll close out. Let's get this one right here.
I wonder if anybody's seen this. Trump and the Utah governor is planning on making homeless encampments. Essentially, the proposal here is that anyone in Utah that is homeless will be going to these encampments. And if they do not go to these encampments, they'll be imprisoned. Essentially, making homelessness illegal. This is coming out now on the news. Making these centers to house homeless people. What do you believe is going to happen when they start cutting more programs, like Section 8? More homeless, meaning more people in these encampments. These encampments equals places like FEMA camps. FEMA camp is a term used around 2012 and 2015 of these places that the government was creating to house homeless people to simply unalive them. So what do you guys think is going on with this homeless encampment in Utah? Let me know in the comments.
So we seeing right there, these things right here lining up. The prophets constantly been warning you about these things. Let's go here because the Lord He's gonna cause these things to happen. The Lord's constantly taking away your comfort zone, taking away your livelihood left and right, because the Lord's constantly bringing forth what judgment, like we have never seen before. These things are right before our eyes. So the Lord is causing these things to happen. Let's go here to 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 49. Let's get this one right quick, and we'll probably get one more and we'll close out. It's just a quick lesson tonight. And once again, I hope that you will get edified. It says here, 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 49, it said, I will send plagues upon thee, said widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence to waste thy houses with destruction and death. So that's exactly what's getting ready to happen. So they're telling these people that, we trying to help the homeless. We're trying to, get them some help or whatever. Like, they're going to get you some help. They're going to introduce that grain of rice. If you do not accept, then they're going to unalive you. So it's already has begun. So Utah right now is at the front of all this. What they're getting ready to try to do is that they get ready to implement. They get ready to put it into place. They're setting the stage. So right now the Lord said, I would bring the plagues. So we're seeing that the plagues are not slacking down. We're seeing them on every side, and the world shall mourn. We're seeing that's happening. Widowhood. A lot of people, going to lose their loved ones. When this homelessness set in, this poverty goes into homelessness. You know what I'm saying? A lack of bread. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be great tribulation. Famine, so we already knowing with these food stamps, the stamp benefit, it's going to cause a famine, a food shortage, starvation, you know what I'm saying? What that sword goes into all sorts of ways that the Lord is going to destroy you, you know what I'm saying? Judgment, so we seeing that's happening too. Pestilence. So we have a new I knew what's called the pestilence, also, disease, plagues. That goes into that. And right now we know there's a new variant, a new type of C19 is out right now. And also we got many others. And also there's a new case of that listeria, I think, virus, and many others. We already know that these things are on the rise. An outbreak here and there, and they said to waste thy houses. So right here, that's coming. Fast approaching. So we already know that the Lord slowly setting in what the Egyptian against the Egyptian, American against American. We seeing that this nation is divided. We know that it will not stand. So setting the stage for total disaster, total destruction. The destruction and death. That is what is coming to America, Babylon the Great. The Lord is getting ready to destroy this place where we at right now. And we see it right now. The devil's getting ready to come down with great wrath. He's getting ready to roll out his agenda, his plan, because he knowing that his time is very short. So let's get this one right quick and we'll close out. Let's go here to Revelation chapter 2. Revelation chapter 2 and verse 10. Revelation chapter 2 and verse 10. And it reads that, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So we know we're coming upon that time, persecution of the saints. We already know that, you can be out here speaking, you might be speaking against the government, or you can be speaking the truth. They hate him that rebukes at the gate. It's not only going to deal with homeless people. It's not only going to deal with people that have mental issues. It's not only going to deal with people that have drug addiction. It's going to be dealing with pretty much what the people of color. And everybody, we already know they're coming for the prophets. They coming for us left and right. Some of you shall be cast into prison. Some of us will face death. Some of us will be martyrs for this truth. The Lord died for us. We also would die for the Lord. And everybody, we do not give a damn about our life. And one thing about it, we know that the Lord is going to bring that great reward with him. So we're seeing that they're setting the stage. We're seeing that things are put into place left and right. Utah is rolling it out. They're at the front of what's getting ready to come. This is a precursor, what's getting ready to come to these other states. That's why he already has the military into place. So they were saying that the National Guard, I seen a little clip. If I can find it, I'll put it up, might do a lesson on saying that that the National Guard, that the UN troops was with the National Guard, or they was masquerading like they was National Guard, but they saying it was UN troops. But I got to see, I own it has not been confirmed, but I got to check into a little bit more. I got to do a little bit more research on that, but we're going to measure the time diligently. So we see it right here that, let's read this once again. It says, Revelation chapter 2 and verse 10 it says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer, behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. So right now we're seeing that he's lining it up. These so-called, what he called the first involuntary camp. But we know it's not going to be involuntary. It's going to be mandatory very soon. They're going to force you to go there. We already know it right now, little by little. That's what he do. He's speaking sweetly with his lip. But one thing about we know that war is in his heart, death and destruction. This man is getting ready to show you who he really is. And out about it, when you go into that word devil, it goes into diabolos, meaning that someone that is a false accuser, someone that is slanderous, someone that is is a deceiver. And out about that's, the modern day so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. It says here that ye may be tried. So right now you're going to be tried. The hour of temptation, the hour of testing. One thing about it, the Lord is going to try everyone on the planet. This is getting ready to be a global event like you have never seen before. That's why the Lord is constantly with accelerating time. That's why the Lord is shortening the day for what? The elect's sake. So let's read this once again. It says, Revelation chapter 10 and Revelation chapter 2 and verse 10, it says, and that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So right here it says, tribulation 10 days. It could be a number of days, not just particular 10 days, could be 1 or 2 days, could be a couple of weeks or whatever, But one thing about it, you are going to be tried. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, your faith is getting ready to be tried. But the Lord said, be thy faithful unto death. The Lord is going to give you a crown of life, immortality, rulership, spiritual power over the nation. And how about we are here? The Lord is getting ready to come with his great reward. The Lord said, behold, I come quickly and my reward is with me. So that's one thing about it. The Lord, the Lord says, strive for this truth until death. He will fight for you. So that's exactly what's getting ready to happen. We're going to constantly trust and believe in Yahweh Ba'al Shai. One thing about it, we're seeing these things are prophetic. They're constantly happening left and right. These end time event. We're living in the end time, real time. So the title of the daily lesson, once again, is prophetic events. I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.